After a death of any kind of celebrity, it's a sad day. It's always a sad day for the people that love that celebrity, for people that enjoyed that person's talent, whether it's an actor or singer or a, famous personality in other arenas or a rapper. It's always a sad day. But what's really sad is that it seems like in the rap game, it's just happening more and more rappers. I didn't grow up like this. Like, we had a death here and there, but it wasn't just like this constant wave of just death of rappers. And I think the reasoning behind that is because there's so much like negativity in the community right now. The violence is at an all-time high and nobody wants to talk about it, right? Try to talk to folks about it and they just kind of brush it along, or they give, well, this happens in every community. I did that video on Kanye. I'll link it above, but remember, that's what we were talking about here, right? Like the community is in a situation that it's hard to quantify how bad it is unless you're living in it. And then you step away from it and you can see it from the outside. I don't think people that are in there, they don't understand how bad it is to just constantly have all of this death surrounding all of this. But Deion Sanders had a message for his team. I'm just going to go ahead and play that and let's listen.
I'm just sick and tired of the consistency of people that are influential to you are leaving us consistently. That's our rappers. Takeoff was murdered in a dice game in Houston, where we're going. So that eliminates all y'all leaving that hotel, because it ain't happening until I give you further notice. So whatever.
Yeah, Prime said they ain't leaving the hotel, because they're on their way to Houston to play a game. Said, we ain't leaving the hotel, fellas. Whatever has happened, hey, we're going to be in that hotel the entire time, and no outside activities, no hanging out after the game, before the game. Nope, in the hotel, because that's how you got to be at these times. It's absolutely crazy.
Her name is, whoever she is, parents, everybody, they're going to come to the hotel to visit you because y'all ain't leaving. Sooner or later, we got to start changing our addresses, guys. That's an analogy to saying, I know we this, but we ain't that. We got to leave that behind that we once did. And that's what you guys are. Now you guys are Jackson State royalty. You ain't know, man. You're not whoever you were a year ago. You're not even who you're going to be a year from now.
Another good point is that you're not who you were a year ago, okay? You might have been in the hood. You might have been doing all kind of crazy stuff a year ago. You've now come to a professional environment. You're a athlete. You're not just some run-of-the-mill cat from the hood that you was, hanging out with back in the day. No, that's not you no more. You have changed. You have to move addresses, as he was saying. You got to get out of that situation, come into a new situation, and understand how that works, okay? And that doesn't mean we forget where we came from, but it's not like we're going to go back and start shooting dice with these guys, because that's what happened. It's a dice game gone wrong, right? I just call it a dice game gone dice game. That's how dice games go. Okay, if you are in the hood, you understand that you get on the corner and you start shooting dice with somebody, anything's liable to happen. Anything is liable to pop off. Okay, you can skirt around that whole issue as much as you can. Okay, you stay away from them situations. You understand that, hey, everybody up in this little circle over here shooting dice, probably 2 or 3 of them is packing. Somebody's carrying something on them. And if something goes left and then an argument starts popping off, everybody's jumping up and running because money is involved, because attitude's involved, because egos are involved. Okay? People's pride on the line. Oh, you trying to trick me? You trying to, all of that kind of stuff happens. So, yeah, you got to stay away from that kind of a situation. You can't, unfortunately, be a part of that hood no more. And I don't even know why you would want to be.
Which is a blessing. But you can't continuously do the things you've always done and expect to get the results. It's going to have to be a change. All of us have gone through drastic changes. Have we, coaches? Have we, coaches? All of us are still evolving into what God has called us to be in that change. You cannot kick it with the same dudes you kicked it with. You cannot kick it with the multitude of women that you kick it with. You cannot associate in the same realms that you associate with. You're going to have to change if you expect change.
I mean, that's what is that but the truth? What is that but the truth? You're going to have to move and get up out of that. You can't keep going back to that well You know, there's no water in there, okay? It's dried up, okay? There's no water in that well. If there was water in that well, you wouldn't have had to leave the hood to come over to where we are at Jackson State and get all the water in the world. You wouldn't have to do that. You're here because there's nothing there. All right? There's nothing back there. So don't go back there. Okay? I understand there's people over there that you want to help. Get them to come to you. Don't go to them. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is now, okay? It used to be that, yeah, you know, we could go ahead, set up something in the hood. Hey, I'm going to put something in the community and build that up and let the people come there. You saw what happened with Nipsey. So, like, okay, is that really what we want to do? You saw what happened, okay? You trying to do something positive in your neighborhood, and these cats going to come in and do whatever they want to do, okay? It might be jealousy. It might be envy. It might just be a come up, hey, this guy, I can rob this guy.
You can't do it. It's going to come to a time, they can talk about you, they can mock you, they can ridicule you, they can cuss you out, they can clown you, whatever they want. But you're going to have to separate sooner or later. You're going to have to disconnect. Sooner or later, you're going to have to. So,
hey, let the dead bury their dead. That's basically what he's saying. You know, if these guys don't understand where you're coming from and what you're trying to do, and they just want to keep you trapped in this negative bubble of crime, violence, and just degradation, and people doing nonsense, hey, man, go ahead and ridicule me. You know, call me names, whatever. Don't let your pride get in the way. Just keep on pushing. You got something else going on in your life. You don't need to be bothering with these people. You know, if that's what they're up to, listen, you can't bring everybody with you. You know, some of these cats going to have to stay behind. Okay, because they're not ready to come with you yet. Maybe, you know, 5 years down the line, something will happen in their life and they'll be like, man, I seen the light. Let me get on over there where homeboy is and let me show him how I've changed or whatever. And then maybe he can bring you into the fold or whatever and help you get going, whatever it is you're trying to do. But at the outset, I can't stop the positive development of my life for you and hang back with you. I can't do that. I got to keep moving forward.
Get that in your spirit. I'm sad because it just seems like it's always us. But we want to say we matter. We want to say we keep it in 100, but it's always us. Now,
and see, this is why I was saying back in with it, we want to say we matter. Okay, we want to say we keep it at 100. But are we? Okay, we want to say we matter. But do we? Because if this stuff is constantly happening in your community, you got to start asking yourself, hey, man, how much do we really matter? And if you look out there, you're going to hear celebrities talking, you know, hey, sad day, all of these rappers. Look at this list real quick. Check this thing out. This is the list of murdered hip hop musicians, right? You can see the date of death, you know, going back, you know, 87, 89, 90, 93, 95. 96. Now this part right here, this is like my era, right? This is my era. Notice it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a whole lot of folks, right? All right, then you get to Tupac, Yachty Gaddafi, Biggie. Okay, that happened there. Fat Pat, Big L started to pick up a little bit, right? But look what happens when you get down into this era. Like it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 just in this year alone. Then you go back in 2021, it was 3. In 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you're talking about decades had gone through and we only had a couple, you know, 87, 89, 90, 93, 95, 96 before we get to the death of Tupac. We had 6 rappers murdered. It wasn't a common thing where hip hop rappers were getting murdered left, right. It wasn't like that. Okay. Like it started to slow down. Like in here, you got 2008, 1 and 9, a couple in 10. But it's just out of control at this point. You know, D&B Rock, that just happened. And it's just crazy how people just murdered and killed for no reason. Now we adding Takeoff to the mix. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Guys, got to start asking some questions about what's going on in your community and quit crying to the government, quit crying to, you know, oh, it's the police officers and those are the ones that are taking out black lives. I guarantee you, it's like all of this entire list right here. Not one of these cats was killed by a cop or a white person. Okay? Almost every single one of these cats is dead at the hands of another black man. We got to do something. We got to do better than this. We got to do better than this. Prime is 100% right. Got to start leaving that life behind and moving on. Anyway, go ahead, give me your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.